So I'm pretty sure aliens were invented by Warner von Braun and Walt Disney. I know that sounds crazy, but stick with me. You've probably heard of Operation Northwoods. It was the 1962 Department of Defense plan to stage fake terror attacks on American soil to try to justify war with Cuba. But what most people don't know is a companion proposal that never made it to official release. A plan hinted at in a few declassified memos called Project Free Sky. Now, this is a rumored program because there is very little solid evidence to back it up, and you'll be able to see why. This program was supposedly about weaponizing the UFO panic at that time. They wanted to create controlled UFO incidents over US and Soviet airspace. They also wanted to use advanced experimental aircraft and radar manipulation to mimic extraterrestrial crafts. Then they wanted to use the resulting chaos to justify massive increases in aerospace defense spending and to test the public's reaction to alien threats. Now, while there is no black and white declassified documents specifically talking about this, only memos, there is supporting context. There are documents discussing using UFO stories for psychological warfare. There is also a 1955 Air Force memo that mentions a joint atmospheric deception study, though almost all of the details remain redacted, of course. Now, where does Warner von Braun and Walt Disney come into this? Well, in the mid-50s, the Department of Defense and the Air Force partnered with Disney to produce public education films about things like space and rockets and atomic power. And Disney Studios had special security clearance. And people like Warner von Braun, yes, the former Yahtzee scientist that was from Operation Paperclip, directly advised them. They created films like Man in Space, Man in the Moon, and Mars and Beyond. There are declassified memos from the agency and the Air Force during that time that discuss, and I'm going to read this, civilian psychological conditioning regarding interplanetary phenomenon, basically exploring how the public would react to alien contact and UFOs. Now, according to a few fragments of FOIA released documents, Disney was approached by the Air Force Public Relations Office to help familiarize the American public with the idea of outer space visitors. And that was a quote. Now, not to confirm aliens, but instead to make the concept less terrifying in case they needed to ever use it for military or political reasons. They did not openly call it propaganda, but instead public acclimatization of space concepts. We're basically talking about the beginning of predictive programming in films. Now, in 1957, there was a Disney Imagineer, whatever that is. His name was Ward Kimball. He publicly stated that the U.S. Air Force gave Disney actual UFO footage to use in a documentary. But the deal was suddenly canceled and the film was never made. Now, whether or not that's true, Disney was a part of soft disclosure, trying to make Americans subconsciously comfortable with these themes, while also normalizing militarized space technology. And information like this just cements in my mind that Operation Mockingbird went way beyond what they said it did, and that the engineering of mass media was used for all kinds of purposes. And in my opinion, is still most certainly still happening today. What are your thoughts on this?